Right. Okay, Ta, now, being a priest and man of God, what would you say to anybody who might just say, well, the priest can always advise, but they do not really understand the pain of a married couple because they've never been married themselves to experience
No.
what they're going through?
When marriage does not work, it means that the principles were sacrificed. We deal with principle, that is the teaching. What should be done? You know, it's just like telling a medical officer, he cannot cure me because he has never been sick. You see, no, but we know the principle. And many, that's why they come to us. We don't ask them to come. They come to us. And this man, I said, the wife report came and reported. From that day on that we met in my office, I've never seen the man without the wife and the wife without the man.
Amazing.
In fact, the other day they were here. In their old age, and now they have seen children's children.
Yeah. Right. We've kind of touched on what you would say to single.
And it requires, you know, when in marriage, like in any profession, sacrifice.
Yeah.
You are no longer free as you were before marriage. They should know that.
That's what a lot of single people don't think about or reflect on before marrying. Yeah.
Once they get married, you cannot decide again alone.
Yes.
You know, because you are now one body. You can no longer decide alone. I love when I hear people, young couples say, we have decided to do this. I like that. That is himself and his wife.
Yes. So
we have decided to build a house. We have decided to, I love that. But when the man don't say, I am going to do this, I don't like it.
Right. What I was going to ask now was, so we've touched on the advice that we'd give a single person on what we would do to encourage people who are married.
Yes.
In the case where where a couple or one of them thinks that there's a good reason why it should be terminated, what
Then
is the process?
Go to the tribunal.
You go to the tribunal.
I had a case this week here. Yesterday.
Okay.
I told the woman who told me that she had never consented to be married.
Okay, yes. You
Even
mentioned
during
it
the
earlier.
celebration, I told her go to the secretariat of the tribunal. If you can prove that, the marriage will be declared null and void.
So how will she prove it, and what is the process? How long before it is declared null and void?
It can take a long time.
Because that there will be the official part and then the church part, isn't it?
Yes. And the man, not only would she be listened to, but the man also will be consulted.
Okay.
Listen to the man also.
So the registry office might need to, she goes to the secretariat. What does she do there?
There's a permanent priest who is a lawyer, canon lawyer, who receives cases. And then there's a tribunal presided by, we have 5 tribunals in Cameroon.
Okay.
You know, Cameroon have 5 ecclesiastical provinces. Bamenda, Douala, Yaoundé, Garoua, and Betua. And each has an ecclesiastical tribunal.
Right.
So you go there. If you have problems, severe problems of declaring the nullity of marriage, it takes some time. They listen to you. But for example, we are our first instance and Yaoundé is our second instance. when our tribunal takes the decision to annul the marriage, that is sent to the tribunal in Yaoundé. If the Yaoundé confirms, the marriage is declared null and void.
On average, about how long can this process take?
It can take, the Holy See said it should not last longer than 6 months. So if Yaoundé declares agrees with our judgment, then the marriage is declared null and void. If there is disagreement, then we'll go to Rome.
Really?
Yes. The marriage, the Catholic Church doesn't joke with marriage.
Okay. Right. So on this section now, I'm just going to say, what general advice would you just give any couples watching now on what
First
to
and
do?
foremost,
Yeah.
they should know that their marriage is a sacred institution.
Yeah.
For Christians, it is called a sacrament, instituted by Christ, by which grace is given into our souls. An outward sign of inward grace. What is sacrament? It's a sacrament with its own special graces. We priests, we have taken the sacrament of, we receive the sacrament of office. We give us special, to live a celibate life.
Mm-hmm.
And the married people have also special grace that we don't have,
Mm-hmm.
which helps them to leave the difficulties, with success, difficulties of the married life. And they cannot do that without a life of prayer.
Yeah. Oh.
Even if it's just a small, short prayer
Mm-hmm.
before they go to bed, before they retire, when they get up in the morning, it will help them.
I appreciate that a lot. And that's it with the section. We're not finished, but that's it just with the section of the marriage. I want to move on now to a final segment, which I'm going to call Up Close and Personal with Bongi. And this is just for us to get to know Ta a bit better. Very informal now. So this is just knowing Ta, who next year, by the way, will be 90. And he looks so young. October of 2020, you'll be 90. Wow. So what makes you still look so strong and healthy and happy?
God, yes.
Very obvious answer.
It's God. You see, I believe that. Not only I believe, every one of us came into the world alone.
Yes.
We were born, each one of us alone. God created us individually, therefore for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So each one of us has something to do in the world, to make the world perfect. As long as you have not finished that work, you will not die. Nobody dies without having finished the work in this world for which God created him or her.
I agree totally.
And as long as the work is not finished, you keep on roaming around the world.
Yes.
And see, with God, there's no such a thing as accidental death. The day we die is the day God has called us to himself.
Yeah.
As in our own human language, accidental death. But with God, everything is present. There's no future, there's no past, there's no future. Everything is present with God. It is with us.
Yeah.
On earth that we live in time that is yesterday, today, and tomorrow. With God is. And immediately after death, there's no more time, and we're going to live eternal youth.
Yes.
If I die today, I'll become younger than you.
That's the belief. Now tell me about growing up. How many siblings did you have, and what memories do you have of some of them?
We were five. We were born five. Some died. You know, in our time there were no possibilities, and quite a number of children died. And, so between my senior sister and myself, I was told that 2 boys died.
Okay.
And that is why they gave me the name Wigan.
Which means?
Wigan side, that I'm a visitor on earth. They didn't expect that I would live long because my elders also died.
Yes.
So they gave me the name Wigan. But I've lived to live more than my father.
What
my father did not reach my age.
Oh wow.
What? My mother lived for 118 years.
Yes. She was the longest.
Yes.
I think the oldest lady I ever met. 118.
She must be.
Perhaps you will live to be 118 as well. Who knows?
No, it seems that women live longer than men. My father, she outlived my father by 40 years.
Wow. What are do you have any fondest memories of any of your siblings growing up?
Oh, what do you mean by siblings?
Like some brothers and sisters, like any funny, interesting things that happened between you guys as you were growing up in your days?
We grew up as kids. We didn't grow up together.
Okay.
My father was a trader. He went to Nigeria. After 1 month, he was not back. So the parish priest of Shisamba parish, the only parish at the time in Kubu, told my mother to pack her things and follow her husband. So my mother therefore left my senior sister and myself in Kikai, our village, and followed her husband. And they remained in Nigeria. They never came back.
What became of you, the kids?
So my sister grew up and got married. Our mother came back once to visit us. My sister was already, had already suitors. I knew 2 boys who were vying to marry her. I was small. One was a teacher in St. Joseph's College, Sassi. He was called Kisamtus Yange. One was already a warder in Bamenda. He was called Nicholas King. And I remember my mother saying, I would not like my daughter to get married to a teacher. So I think, and that is the man, the young man my sister loved. I could see that.
Yes.
But I was not old enough to participate in the discussion.
Yes.
And the other one my sister loved. My mother did not that my mother hated him, no, he didn't want her daughter to get married to a teacher. So she influenced in one way or the other my sister to get married to the warder who was a civil servant. I would tell this story when I went to Jos. As a child, it says, and my mother was furious that I said, what happened?
Yes.
You know, so I kept quiet. Then my followers were born in Jos. Since my father and my mother decided to remain in Jos. And then I had an uncle in Kikai, Bob William Gett, who was so good to me. Treated me like his own child.
Mm.
So after some time, I told him, I want to see my parents. I will not go to school again here. For 1 year, I didn't go to school.
Yes.
So I was staying with my uncle. Your uncle, Mr. Michael Bansaka,
Yes.
we grew up together. I remember he was passing one day, you know, our compound,
Uh-huh.
and he was coming from school. He was, I'm older than him by 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
He was passing and saw me molding blocks. He said, Christian, I said, trim out the blocks.
Uh-huh.
And you have decided to be molding all the blocks, you won't go back to school again. That touched me.
Yes.
So I decided to look for where my parents were. They sent money. But before the money came, I had decided to follow traders who were going to Jos on foot. And we trekked for 1 month.
What? You trekked from Kikaikelaki to Jos in Nigeria?
In northern Nigeria.
On foot for 1 month?
1 month.
How old were you then?
I was 12.
That is one of your fondest memories.
Oh, yeah. I
What?
was very ambitious.
That was going to lead to my next question. What kind of boy were you?
I was an ordinary boy in the village. We used to go hunting rats and go to the forest. We'll climb some trees, so as we cut the tree and we fall with it, enjoying the fall.
Yes.
In the forest, until the others would come to chase us away. Hunting
Yes.
rats.
Uh-huh.
Go when you got a rat and you roasted it with fufu corn, it was good for it.
Did you
Because
ever?
meat was rare.
Mm-hmm. You had to hunt it to eat it.
When meat was bought, it was not Mama who cooked it, it was usually the men who cooked the meat. The papa who cooked the meat.
Yes.
In his own kitchen, his own pot.
So they had different kitchens and different pots.
Yeah, when there was meat to be cooked.
I see.
And then after that, Papa would be calling it and giving his own piece.
Yes.
So meat was rare.
Me wanting to ask you, what sort of mischiefs did you commit growing up? I'm sure you must have committed 1 or 2 mischiefs.
We used to go to steal sugar cane from the farms and bowl
Yes.
and
Sweet potatoes.
yes, and eat them raw.
So that's the highest mischief you can think of.
Yes, sugar cane. And it was serious.
Uh-huh.
Or going to steal father's oranges. At times, father would not catch you. He would take the picture, and on Monday we would come to school and look at his picture and say, "Come out."
Yes.
Father stuck my heels. And there was, of course, after that you went to confession and you feel very
You feel better.
all right again.
Yes.
But then the following week you started fruits. So when I became a priest in Bamboo, I was in Bamboo. Children, we had a garden of fruit. Children used to come to steal. What do we do? And they would keep it at the church door and go in for mass. So the priests, Europeans, would do mass. They say, these children, do they know what I say? No, I find it difficult, right? Because that's what I did.
used to do. Exactly.
And the European priests could not understand that.
So before you decided to go into the priesthood, this is just a crazy random question.
Yes.
Did you ever in your youth think that you could fall in love with a girl? Was there any girls that you admired growing up?
Not at all. We grew up like brothers and sisters in the village. Those ideas never came to our mind.
Really? So you never ever saw some girl and thought,
No, because we were still small in the village. By the time I started thinking about it, which is natural, I was already in college. And when I decided in college to become a priest.
Mm-hmm.
Then I dreamed that I was married and I wept in dream. So when I got to the toilet, I said,
Thank you. Wow.
I dreamt that I was married and I wept.
Amazing. That's I was not expecting that. Okay.
It was a dream.
Yes, but for you to have reacted like that for a dream time.
Yeah. When I had decided to.
This was your calling. That just makes me realize this was your calling. Let's move on to leisure. What is your favorite football club? That is, if you like football. Or team.
I like football. In Cameroon, of course, our national team, when they are playing, is the whole nation that is focused, is touched. And when they win, I'm happy.
Yes.
Yes.
Who is your favorite player?
I don't have any.
As long as they're playing as a team.
Yes.
Name.
But my favorite game was lawn tennis.
Oh.
I still have my racket now.
Were you a tennis player then?
Yes.
A good one?
I still remember when I beat an Irish, he was director of our medicine. I was playing with him. We were just two of us, and I beat him. And I enjoyed that.
Of course, how wouldn't you? Now,
And I used to play Zimbabwe tennis with the seminarians. When they beat me too, they enjoy. I could see that they enjoy.
Yes, of course.
So they beat the rector.
Can you name 3 people that you admire in the world or that you have ever admired? If you had to name 3 people.
3?
And why?
Difficult for me to mention 3.
If you want to mention more, that's fine.
No, the person who influenced from childhood, Dr. Fonda. He was her teacher in Vaneko in Kikai. He taught us in Kikai.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Fonda.
Yes. May he rest in peace.
He had no cook. Our mothers used to cook and we would take it to him. And when my mother cooked food, and I took it to him, he said, "Trevor was why
Oh.
a teacher."
He would invite you to eat with him.
Yes. He wore no shoes because he was a simple teacher. Short, what they call short tops.
Yes.
Because as a primary school teacher, you're not allowed to wear the trousers.
That was no.
Yeah, just finished standard 6.
Did you say he wore no shoes as well?
No shoes.
Okay, why? Was
When
it
he
a
came,
decision?
He had not the means.
Oh, okay.
But the day he told us that his first pair of shoes, the mother went for him. The mother was annoyed that he was imitating priests. Who is he to imitate priests?
Ah, only priests were supposed to wear shoes.
Of course, Europeans, no, they wear shoes.
Wow.
So he's the man I admire very much. And then a teacher in Moyuka, Mr. Bernard, he taught her. And then the third was the former Prime Minister, Joa, the big one.
Yes.
He taught me in standard 3. And the way he used to pronounce he taught us elocution in the
Yes.
English language.
Yes.
And he taught us rhymes. And we used to joke with, and they say, rhyme it, betty patty butter, bill of butter, English of butter, betty patty butter, betty patty butter, bill of butter, where's bill of butter, betty patty butter?
I think I know that as well. A tongue twister.
So you have to speak English fast and still be clearly understood. Betty patty butter, a bit of butter, a bit of butter, betty
Yes.
patty butter, a betty patty.
So he kind of inspired you.
Where's bit of butter?
How old were you when he taught you and all of this?
I think I was 8.
Okay.
No. I think I was almost 10. In standard 3.
Right. What's your favorite meal? I think I know the answer to this.
You don't ask me a question.
Well, it's not for me to know.
Of course, if you give.
Should I guess then?
Yes.
Kiban and nyoseji and kati kati,
Of course.
which is an equivalent
No,
of fufu corn.
kati is not there. Because we never knew kati when
Until
we were
later.
kids.
That's true. No, I mean your favorite meal now.
My favorite meal now, yes, is fufu corn.
Yes. What's your favorite song, if you have any?
Song.
Mhm.
Favorite song. My favorite song, which I always intune when I preside Mass in English, is Jesus, my
One of my favorites. My God, my God.
Somebody told me.
I
that
love
when
it
I
too.
tuned that, the Royal sister told me that when I tuned that one song, like tears came out from her.
It's a beautiful song. It's one of my favorites as well.
Yes.
Love it. What message of hope can you give anyone going through challenges in life? Any form of challenge.
You know, often I ask my son, how do those who are not Christians carry their cross? Call that a cross. Any challenge is a cross. Any suffering could be a lost one. Could be anything. Because we Christians, in our saddest moments, in our moments of distress, we turn to God. And we
Empty yourself there.
say, do what you like. That's why Christ told us in every situation, say, may thy will be done. Thy will be done. But the non-Christian hasn't that.
Yeah.
He doesn't turn to God. He looks for who has done this,
Yes.
who is doing this. But we Christians, with the cross, every suffering is a cross you carry. You look at Christ crucified on the cross. We are true Christians. The Christian should never be discouraged.
Yeah.
Should never despair. Yes.
When we were talking yesterday, I was telling you that priests, a lot of priests during their ordination, they have a card. And there's always either a prayer or a verse, Bible verse or something. And I was asking you that when you were ordained, what message did you have on your card?
Pray for Cameroon.
I was very touched by that.
It was just that sentence.
So what do you normally, like every day, if you had to say a prayer every day, today, what is that one thing that you always think to pray for first?
My faith.
Okay.
Lord, increase my faith. My hope and charity.
Is that what you said you also pray for when you lifting your host during communion, during your sacred moments?
When I'm celebrating, I always hold sacrament.
Sacrament divine,
praise.
be every moment.
Well, it's private, so I say it with him.
Yes.
It's a small, short prayers.
So this is my very final question now. Any words of encouragement to the viewers before I say my goodbyes to them?
Never be discouraged in life. Enjoy life as a gift of God. Never be discouraged. But don't forget that we are only passing.
Yes.
We are strangers on earth. Our eternal home is heaven, where we will live forever and ever with God and the angels and all the brothers who are already there.
Amen. Thank you so much, Ta. Wow. May the God who created us bless you.
Thank you very much.
Bless you, fill you with his anointing, continue to give you the grace
Yes.
to live your life as you do. Very inspiring, very encouraging. And I know you still have years to live on earth to accomplish that plan which he had for you.
Yes.
And we are so very blessed to be in your presence and to just know that we could have this one-on-one and share your life with us and our friends online. Thank you so much, Tata. God bless you.
And bless you too.
Guys, before I say my final goodbyes, I will just end with my motto as always. Always be thankful, always be happy, and keep smiling. See you soon. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.